Okay, so you want to really get to the heart of this whole men of business thing, right? Like you want to cut through the noise and figure out what it really takes. Yeah.
Absolutely.
We've been digging into this fascinating chapter, chapter 9, from a work we're keeping under wraps for now. And it's all about, you guessed it, men of business.
Yeah.
But we're going beyond the typical stuffy business talk. We're trying to uncover those key qualities and approaches that can help anyone succeed, not just in the boardroom, but, well, kind of in life in general.
For sure.
We're going straight to the source here, folks, pulling out the gems and leaving the fluff behind.
Exactly.
So this chapter, right off the bat, tackles head-on this, this kind of limited view of what it means to be a man of business. It even calls out Hazlitt, remember him?
Yeah.
He had this idea that businessmen, successful ones at least, well, they kind of needed a want of imagination to, survive the daily grind.
Right. Like it was almost a prerequisite for success to, to shut off a part of your brain.
Yeah, kind of dismissive, isn't it?
For sure. Very. And that's exactly what this chapter pushes back against. Right. It lays out this, I guess you'd say, a more well-rounded view. It argues that to truly excel in anything worthwhile, any significant endeavor...
And it really stresses that any, doesn't it?
It does, yeah. It says you need a whole bunch of qualities.
Like what? Give us the rundown.
Okay, so we're talking aptitude, being naturally good at something.
Yeah.
Then there's being able to make quick decisions, being organized, having a good grasp of how people tick.
Human nature.
Yeah, exactly. And on top of that, this constant drive to learn and improve, and of course, practical experience, learning by doing.
Yeah.
So I'm curious, does that resonate with you? Does that match up with what you initially thought about, what makes a successful businessman?
I gotta say, it definitely paints a much bigger picture than just, crunching numbers and chasing profits, right?
Yeah, totally.
It's this chapter is describing someone who's adaptable, always learning, constantly navigating a complex world.
Yeah, more dynamic.
Much more dynamic. So it's less about, being stuck in that Hazlitt routine and more about skillfully navigating a constantly changing landscape.
That's it. That's the key. And to really hammer that home, the chapter actually brings in Burke.
Oh, yeah. What'd he say?
He said, and I love this quote, he said he knew statesmen who were peddlers and merchants who acted in the spirit of statesmen.
Wow.
So basically the qualities we often associate with, like political leadership, strategy, understanding people, those things aren't exclusive to politics. Yeah. They can be found in the business world just as much.
So it's like those lines are blurred.
Absolutely.
And it makes you rethink those old stereotypes, right?
Definitely. So it's like this school of business the chapter talks about. It's not just about vocational skills.
Right.
It's this broader education in essential life skills that can apply to, well, pretty much anything.
I like that.
Yeah.
So what are some of the core tenets of this, broader school we're talking about?
Well, one thing that pops up again and again is diligence and perseverance.
Work ethic.
Exactly. It's like the bedrock of any lasting achievement.
Yeah. And it makes sense. It's not about that initial spark. It's about keeping the fire going.
Right. Whether you're in business or the arts or sciences.
Which, for our listeners who love diving deep, that's you guys' idea of consistent effort. That's got to resonate.
Totally. Nothing worthwhile comes easy. It's all about that dedication over time. And the chapter, it actually brings up some interesting examples. It mentions Wordsworth, the poet,
Yeah.
He also had this day job as a stamp distributor.
Seriously?
Yeah. And Sir Walter Scott, another big-time writer, he worked as a clerk.
Interesting. So it's not like these were just side hustles.
No.
They were real responsibilities.
Exactly. And they took them seriously.
Alongside their creative work. What's the takeaway there?
It's like you don't need just one single focus to be great.
Like those separate things, they can actually fuel each other.
Yeah, it's about having a strong work ethic across the board no matter what you're doing.
And then there's Ricardo.
Oh yeah, Ricardo.
He was killing it as a stock jobber, like a finance whiz. And at the same time, he became this huge name in political economy.
Like his brain just didn't stop.
Right. It's almost like the way he approached finance, all that analytical stuff, it spilled over into his intellectual pursuits.
Yeah, totally. And the chapter, it also tells this great story about Sir William Jones, who started out in a pretty low-level architectural job.
Really?
Yeah, but he worked his way up through sheer hard work and dedication.
So it's that idea that, where you start doesn't have to be where you end up.
Not at all. Especially if you're willing to put in the effort.
Yeah, it's all about chipping away at it, making progress, however small, consistently. Speaking of which, the chapter quotes Samuel Johnson here.
Oh yeah, what'd he say?
He said, and listen closely, folks, Modest merit is, however, too apt to be inactive or negligent or uninstructed merit. Well-matured and well-disciplined talent is always sure of a hearted, provided it exerts itself, but it must not cower at home and expect to be sought for. So what's he getting at here?
It's like talent alone is not enough.
It's got to be, like, honed and put to use.
Right, you can't just sit around waiting for opportunity to find you. You have to be out there making things happen.
Yeah.
And get this, the chapter even says that paying attention to detail, even in small, seemingly insignificant tasks, it matters.
Really?
Yeah, it shows that you're reliable, that you care. It builds trust.
Makes sense. If you can't be trusted with the small stuff, who's going to trust you with the big stuff?
Exactly. It's all about building that reputation step by step.
So this all ties in with how these successful individuals manage their time and focus, right?
Absolutely.
Because it's not just about working hard, it's about working smart.
Exactly.
And the chapter highlights that really well. It talks about DeWitt's maxim, one thing at a time.
Oh, that's a classic.
It sounds so simple, but in today's world of constant distractions and multitasking, it's almost revolutionary.
It really is.
Yeah.
And the chapter talks about how DeWitt would focus completely on one task until it was done. No switching back and forth, no getting sidetracked, just pure focused attention.
Yeah, and think about how much more you could get done, how much better the quality would be if you actually did that.
Absolutely. And there's this example of a French minister, really efficient guy. His secret, never putting things off, never postponing till tomorrow what should be done today, as he put it.
Proactive, right.
Totally, always staying ahead of the game.
Then there's Lord Broome. He has this more philosophical take on time.
Oh yeah, what was it?
He sees time as this raw material for self-culture, self-improvement, and growth of character.
So it's not just about getting things done.
No, it's about using time to become a better person.
Exactly, investing in yourself.
And the chapters even suggest that spending just 15 minutes a day on self-improvement can make a huge difference over time.
It's those small, consistent efforts that add up.
Right, like compound interest. And another thing the chapter emphasizes is punctuality.
Being on time.
Yeah, but it's not just about being polite. The chapter calls it a form of keeping faith.
Like a promise.
Exactly. It shows respect for other people's time, which builds trust, especially in business.
Yeah, if you're always late, it's like saying you don't value their time.
And that can really damage relationships and trust.
Absolutely.
The chapter even brings up Washington here, doesn't it?
Yeah, good old George.
Not just a great leader, but also a stickler for details. Like during the war, he was all over the logistics, making sure the troops had everything they needed.
Supplies,
Yeah.
food, even the right shoes.
It's like that business mindset, that attention to detail. It was crucial even in a war.
Right. And then there's Napoleon.
Master strategist.
Yeah, but also incredibly good at managing tons of details at once. Military campaigns, civil administration. He could handle it all.
Like his brain was a supercomputer.
Totally. And this ability to oversee all these moving parts, that's a hallmark of a great leader in any field.
Definitely. And speaking of attention to detail, the chapter then shifts to Wellington and his, I guess you could call them, business qualities that helped him win battles.
Yeah, Wellington, another fascinating example.
We often think about military commanders in terms of, brilliant strategies and bravery on the battlefield.
Right, big picture stuff.
But this chapter, it focuses on Wellington's meticulous planning, his focus on even the smallest details.
Like making sure his soldiers had enough food, the right equipment.
Yeah, it wasn't just about the grand strategy, it was about the nitty-gritty stuff that kept the army going.
And it paid off big time.
It did. He went up against bigger armies, but his attention to detail, his preparation, that gave him the edge.
So these magnificent business qualities, as the chapter calls them, they weren't just a nice bonus.
They were essential to his success.
Exactly.
It shows you, even in the most intense situations, careful planning and thoroughness, that's the foundation.
Couldn't agree more.
Now, shifting gears a bit, the chapter dives into another crucial element, especially in business: honesty and integrity.
Right. The ethical side of things.
It starts by pointing out something we often take for granted: the sheer amount of trust that makes business possible. Like, think about all the transactions that happen every day, all that money changing hands.
Based on agreements, contracts, sometimes just a handshake.
It's amazing, right?
It is. And it's easy to focus on the times when that trust is broken, the scandals and fraud.
Yeah, the bad apples.
But the vast majority of business dealings, they're based on good faith, on people doing what they say they'll do.
It's a testament to human nature, really.
I think so. And the chapter puts it beautifully. It says that a person's trustworthiness shines through when they do their duty, not because they're getting something out of it, but because it's the right thing to do.
It's that inner compass that guides them.
Exactly. And to illustrate this, it talks about David Barclay.
Oh yeah, the merchant.
Super successful, but also known for his unwavering honesty and fairness.
It wasn't just about following the rules, it was about doing the right thing in every situation.
And even after he retired from business, he kept living by those principles.
He founded a house of industry to help the poor. Right.
Yeah, and he even took a stand against injustice on his Jamaican estate.
So his commitment to doing good went beyond just making money.
Absolutely.
So the chapter shows us that success, real success, it's tied to integrity.
It's not just about profits, it's about doing things the right way.
Right. And as we wrap up here, the chapter zooms out to look at how these business principles impact society as a whole.
Yeah, it goes beyond the individual.
It argues that all those qualities we talked about, diligence, focus, integrity, they're what drive a nation's progress.
It's that free energy and active employment of individuals, as the chapter puts it.
Basically, people working hard, contributing, building things.
Exactly. And it brings up Hugh Miller's perspective.
He was a big believer in the value of hard work.
Yeah, he said even tough labor can be satisfying, even educational.
Like you learn and grow through doing.
Right. And the chapter also touches on the importance of inventors.
Those who push boundaries, come up with new ideas.
Exactly. It says necessity is often the mother of invention.
You have a problem, you gotta find a solution.
Right. And it mentions some big names: Watt, Arkwright, Peel.
Pioneers in their fields.
Yeah, they faced obstacles, skepticism, but they kept going, built huge industries.
And then there's Lee and Heathcote.
Oh yeah, the guys who faced resistance because their inventions were so disruptive.
People were afraid of change, but they persevered.
Classic example of that business mindset, that drive to create and improve.
And there's Jacquard and Vaucanson. Their inventions revolutionized manufacturing.
It's like that spirit of enterprise. It's not limited to business owners.
It's in anyone who wants to make things better.
Right. And the chapter ends by highlighting the importance of leading by example.
That one person's dedication can inspire others.
Like a ripple effect.
Exactly. So, to bring it all home for our listeners, what we learned from this chapter on Men of Business is that these qualities, they're not just for businessmen.
No, they're for everyone.
It's about being diligent, paying attention to detail, managing your time well, being honest, and being proactive.
And the good news is, these are skills you can learn and develop.
You're not born with them, you cultivate them.
Right. So as you think about everything we've discussed, here's a question for you to ponder.
Hit us with it.
How can you apply these principles, especially the ones about consistent effort and integrity, in your own life?
Whether it's your work, your personal goals, your creative pursuits.
Exactly. Choose one or two of these qualities and focus on getting better at them.
Take what we've learned here and use it to create your own path to success.
Whatever that success looks like for you.
And that's a wrap on another deep dive.
Thanks for listening.
Until next time, keep on learning, keep on growing,
And keep on diving deep.
we'll see you then.
Bye for now.